Howdy, my name's Shane Bird, and today I will be informing you about 3 tips and tricks to survive and thrive in college. With the job market being in a state of decline, only the best of the best and the brightest, highly educated students will come out on top with a job that can transform into a career later in life. The journey through college is a turbulent, potentially scary season of life mired with struggles and pitfalls, but focusing on your primary goal of having in mind that your first and foremost job is to be a student, going and developing a clear and concise roommate agreement to alleviate any stress. And the third, choosing to drink and party responsibly if you're of age, will help you survive and thrive in college. As someone who has just completed 60 credit hours of college, I have the real life experience to share that I have learned along the way. Today I'll be sharing with you 3 tips and tricks, a key piece of advice that will help you succeed in college. First and foremost, you're a student first. Being a student is your job, so when you're in the real world, when you have a career, even if you don't feel like going to work in the morning or you didn't get enough sleep or you're tired or something, you go to work, you go to your job, and college and school is your job. You go to class even if class isn't mandatory. So studies have shown that for every 1 absence you miss, that's a drop of 0.06% on a 4-point scale in your grade. To put that in perspective, missing 10 classes is worth 0.6 points on a 4-point scale, which is equivalent to going from a C to a B. That makes a huge difference in college. Another thing is making sure to go to all the SI sessions, which are supplemental instruction sessions, with your teacher's assistant or any tutoring. There's no stigma of going to tutoring like there was in high school. Everyone goes to tutoring in college, and you can rapidly see your grades shoot to the top. I know I went to tutoring every night, and it made a world of difference. Time management is one of the biggest keys as well in college. If you study hard and get ahead from the very beginning, it's much easier to just back off some instead of getting behind and overwhelmed. So it's obvious that a college student you'll spend a lot of time in class, but what about when you go home at night? Then what? Well, much of the success in college can be attributed to having a good, stress-free environment where you can just relax after a hard day or go home and study and not be bothered. So a good way to make the best of this situation when you go home to your dorm or your apartment or your house is to establish a roommate agreement. Now, you may have roommates that you may hate or you may love or you may just tolerate them, but a roommate agreement is a good way to make it a stress-free environment. So things to remember are to establish ground rules and boundaries for any social situations or private property. A good contract should address both the roommate's preferences on how the space should be used and just general ground rules for life situations. You want a stress-free environment. So students who reported 8 stressful situations or more posted a grade average of 2.72, but students who reported some stressful situations or even less than that to no stressful situations posted a 3.3 grade point average, which is absolutely amazing. So keep in mind that a contract won't guarantee you get your way every time, and it will require compromises for both you and your roommate, but it will help alleviate some of the issues and be smooth sailing, as you both deserve some peaceful environment. So this is a good base of a roommate agreement. Now it may seem a little goofy doing a Venn diagram like this, but it's a good start. So you can see their things, your things, and the things that you can both share. So it's good to just map that out and figure out how you want to divvy up responsibilities. So now you have your school and your home life situation figured out. Now you can really get comfortable and explore college and the different experiences. And many of those experiences are the parties. Now it's easy to get carried away and wrapped up in the wrong group of people or the parties. So it's important that if you choose to do so and you're of legal age, that you drink responsibly. So you may not be surprised to hear that 4 out of every 5 college students drinks alcohol. That's just the world we live in. What may be surprising is 50% of college students who drink alcohol do so in binge drinking. Now, this isn't anything new. For the past decade, drinking levels have not decreased or increased. They've stayed the same, but the world we've lived in has changed. It's becoming more dangerous, so we need to be smarter about the way that we do things. These parties are totally fine to go to, but it's important to be smart. Every year, 1.6 million students are injured, they self-harm, or they're even killed due to alcohol abuse. Annually, it's shown that 25% of students report their grades and their academic suffering because of alcohol, whether they're missing class or whether they're failing tests. It's important to remember that you're at school to get an education and to better yourself, not just to party your life away. Now, these parties are great and all, but it's important to be responsible and be safe. Always designate a sober driver. Never get in any potentially compromising positions. Never accept drinks from anybody else, and be safe. Be aware of your surroundings, and just keep everything aware, and make sure that you're not put in any bad situations that can harm you. So I have the sound advice on how to avoid a large majority of the mistakes, and and I wish these things had been shared with me. Now, obviously, only following these 3 tips is not the end-all be-all salvation, but it will definitely get you ahead of the game. It's always easier to over-prepare and then back off than to under-prepare and be overwhelmed, be just another statistic. If you follow the key points of, first and foremost, keeping in mind that your job is to be a student, establishing a good roommate agreement, and drinking responsibly if you choose to do so, you will have great success in college.